Hello, Kelly. What's up? It's Johnny. It's your favourite Englishman. And boy, have I got some stuff to tell you. First of all, you're typically the only person that gets to do this twice. What's going on? Classic. I think you came back a little close to the camera on the second one or something, but you've got a double-length video, so it's extra cool. We can look at you twice. And second of all, we're going to see all those beautiful things that it's really hard to see what's going on with your own body, but now that we're doing it in here, we're going to get a good look. Alright, this is you. And the first thing we're going to talk about is body position, okay, unsurprisingly. But one of the key factors of that is the amount of knee bend, okay? And you can see right here, you've really got kind of a lot of knee bend right here. Okay, let's try and step this on even more. Right here, that's about as big as it gets. You've got a lot of knee bend. So one thing we're really going to try and do is tone this down big time. Okay, we should see probably about half as much as that. Okay, obviously this doesn't help for a couple of reasons. Basically, it's affecting your body position, but also think about this. Think about all the water that's now hitting your knee right here. Okay, the lower you drop your knee, the more water gets to smack into it right there, and that is really a large contributor to slowing you down. Okay. Let's rewind this just a little bit. Okay, and we'll get a good look at it at about half speed. There. Lots of knee bend. And another thing to note is, remember I talked about having equal portions of kick in front and behind neutral? Okay, if we take a look here, we're going to see that a lot of your lower leg here, because your knee comes so far forward, it can never follow through. Now, if this was to follow through correctly, your lower leg would have to be somewhere down here. Okay, because what I'm saying is you need equal portions of kick behind and above, or behind and in front of neutral. Let's see if we can draw a better description of this. Now that one's not too bad. Look at that, you're getting a little bit deeper. So what we're looking for ideally here is between here and here, kicking. So much less knee bend, and also equal portions in front and behind neutral. And the other thing we're looking for overall is to take this kick and shift the whole thing up so that you're kicking a little closer to the surface of the water, the same depth, obviously with the improved knee bend, but the same depth, but just a little higher in the water overall. So let's put this at full speed and take a peek. You can see that here, you're never really getting in front of your knee. Let's slow it down. Full speed was a bit too quick. Too fast at full speed. It's awesome. See right there? You're not really driving through. Sometimes you are, other times you're not. Okay? Let's move us on at full speed, and we're going to look from the front. Okay, here we're going to see a couple of things. First off, I know we're really trying to get some catch-up into a stroke, which you're doing a really good job of, it has to be said, okay? But another thing that we're not really doing is rotating that much, and you can see it's always exposed from the front. If we go slow, you can see that you're not really turning your body that much. Okay, you're turning your shoulders, but you're not turning your hips at the same time. And you have to imagine yourself stuck on a pencil, so that when you rotate, everything rotates to the left. When you rotate right, everything rotates to the right. Hips, shoulders, to the same degree and at the same time. And right here, you'll see that essentially there's not that much rotation, and it is largely from the shoulders. You see that? Your hips are still in the same spot, but your shoulders are moving. Okay, so we're really going to have to get used to slicing from side to side, 45 degrees, so that your body, starts off on one side, and we're going to go from 45 degrees here, so that the whole body's facing that way, to sort of 45 degrees here. Okay, big rotation. Let's take a peek at where we're at. Okay, you can see we're just not quite rotating enough. See, you're blowing out underneath. That's really good. You're not holding in the air. And then we're going to move you onto Full speed on the way back. This is where you get really close to the camera. Movie star, look at me. Where is it? There you are, other side of the pool. Look at you. Okay. Now, here's a classic example of your catch up falling by the wayside. Okay, right here, you're recovering your arm, you should be getting ready to pull it over, and it's only about this point that you should be starting to take the pull. Okay, but look where you are already. You're like way into this stroke, and something that we haven't really talked about yet, so it's not really fair to criticize you on, but is the fact that your elbows are really low. One thing we're going to start learning about is getting the elbows up when we swim, and we're going to be looking for something that looks more like this, kind of the opposite of what you're doing right there. But let's move on. Mega close to the camera. Look at me. You see, you're kicking an awful lot too. We're gonna try and get you to kick a little less knee, and hopefully just a little bit less. Period. Should tire you out a lot less. Where's the way back? Okay, now I'm going to tell you about this. Like I said, we haven't really covered it, but we're going to talk about it. Just because when someone finally gets around to telling you fully about it, you're going to have a visual ahead of time. Okay, this is actually a pretty good start position. Your elevations are right. Your shoulder's higher than your elbow, higher than your wrist, okay, or at least horizontal. And that looks great. Now from here, what really good swimmers are able to do is bend their forearm down like this, keep their elbow nice and high, and really try and grab some water. And you'll see what you will do, if we step by step it on, is in fact drop your elbow. You see that? Okay, so you look like kind of the opposite. Don't take that badly. Okay, so what we're looking for at this point is something that looks pretty much the other way around. The upper arm to about here, and bend at the elbow and reaching down with the lower arm. Okay, and what this does is present more surface area to push water backwards, to drive yourself forwards. And what you're doing, actually, your elbow kind of acts like the bow of a ship and allows you to slip through. Okay, and then we're going to move on, or not if it doesn't want to move on. There we go, and just take a look at the head. See, when you're breathing, you're actually doing a half decent job of keeping that goggle in. Okay, you're just a little bit high, but you're doing a pretty good job of keeping the head down, so keep on working on that. And then here you come into the final wall. Try and make sure when you pull, ideally we don't want to pass over this imaginary center line that runs down the middle here. Okay, and you've got to make sure that your pull itself doesn't cross over. You see how your hand is on the other side of that line? There's an imaginary center line running right down our center, and you've got to stay on each shoulder, each arm, each elbow has to stay on its own side of the body. Okay? And let's get rid of that and finish you up. Kelly, you got an awesome start, girl. Basically, your stroke needs just like some attention that I've been lucky enough to have for a long time. You know, you're just getting into this, but you've got a great start. You keep working like you're doing, you're already massively improving from the first time I saw you. So, good job. Hope this video sort of opens your eyes. It's amazing to see what it's like underwater. You just don't really know. I mean, you know, when I started, no one was filming me, so it's really cool to see what's going on under there. And I hope it helps. All right, well, I'll see you soon.